Analogue Pocket is the go-to hardware for anyone serious about handheld retro gaming, and the latest version of the beloved device has taken everything I loved about the original and wrapped it all in a premium aluminum case. This is the world's first luxury game handheld, and while we all know and love the Analogue Pocket's hardware, this new, extremely limited, and definitely not cheap edition is exactly the kind of thing I love about Analogue. The thing about the all aluminum Analogue Pocket is, apart from the screen and the printed circuit boards inside, it really is all aluminum. There is so much going on here. It's not just two halves of the original case turned into metal. The freaking buttons and D-pad are made of aluminum. When I was talking with Analogue founder Chris Tabor last week about the all aluminum Pocket, he stressed to me that it is so much more than just taking the files from the original run of the Pocket and then, loading them into the machine. Basically, it required a complete rebuild of the process from the ground up. Yes, the shape was already there, but taking that shape and then converting it into aluminum required Analogue to rethink and redesign the entire manufacturing process. The level of care, the level of craftsmanship is kind of mind-blowing. If you're not familiar with the CNC process, first of all, CNC stands for Computer Numerical Control, which it's really not a very descriptive name now that I've said it out loud. But stuff like MacBooks, rims for cars, parts for airplanes, all of these are made with a CNC process. Essentially, you feed in your plan to the machine, you give it a piece of raw material, in this case aluminum blocks, and the machine goes to work shaving, grinding, routing, and drilling until that ingot of aluminum has turned into a precise, beautiful representation of the collaboration between engineering and art. I honestly would have no problem sitting in the manufacturing facility watching the CNC machines turn out these aluminum pieces. Now, I reviewed the Analogue Pocket back when it came out and I loved it. It is absolutely the best choice out there for playing your old handheld games. Everything about the original feels fantastic. The buttons have exactly the right amount of tension and travel. The D-pad is similarly excellent, responsive and clicky, exactly where you want it to be. It just feels solid. But man, as much as I love the original and respect its build quality, it is hard to go back after playing around with the aluminum version. It improves on the feel of the original in ways I didn't know I wanted in my life. The limited edition unit is definitely heavier than the original, but not so much as to feel cumbersome. My favorite part are the back buttons that recreate the shoulder buttons on like the Game Boy Advance. They never felt bad, but now they feel so good. I find myself just clicking them like the world's most expensive fidget toy. It definitely feels like a precision piece of industrial equipment, and a sick part of me has the desire to just drop it on the floor and see how well it handles it. Do I recommend getting the aluminum version over the original? Well, it is definitely a huge flex. And if you have a gigantic library of old handheld cartridges, I don't know, maybe sell off Mega Man 5 for the Game Boy and a couple of your other rare gems to finance its $500 price tag. This is absolutely a luxury gaming device, but if you, like me, absolutely appreciate craftsmanship and you have the $500 to spend, well, I say go for it. For more retro goodness, make sure to check out my guide to finding the perfect CRT. And for everything else, keep it right here on IGN.